I would really like to introduce Lithia. Can you jump on now and there you are.
Hello.
How are you?
How are you?
Oh, I'm fine, but you've been extraordinarily busy in the last 24 to 48 hours, haven't you?
Absolutely. I've been working hard on this initiative, coordinating everything, but I'm absolutely happy with what is happening and with the response from the community. All the advocates have been working hard and giving their best, working together in an atmosphere that has been fantastic. We saw that we are thriving when we work together and that we can really achieve wonderful things when we do that.
Absolutely. Together we are stronger. It is, that's undoubtedly the truth. Now, I know that you've got some slides, so let's have a look at those and you can talk your way through it. I'll stay here and then I'll come back on the end and we can talk about it. And you've got a special video to share as well. So let's go. Take it away.
Well, first of all, I would like to thank dedoc for the opportunity to give visibility to the initiative, and a special mention to Natalie and Morgan. And I would also like to thank the whole working group for honoring me, allowing me to represent their voices here today. No insulin, as we know really well, represents death. We need insulin to survive. A lot of people living with type 1 diabetes and other types of diabetes cannot afford to go without it. What is our initiative? What is this insulin consensus statement? Well, it is an explicit positioning as the global diabetes community for the human rights of civilians during the living with diabetes in armed conflicts, present and future. Even if this statement was triggered by the situation in Ukraine and the Gaza Strip, it goes further. It represents any conflict in the world because there are so many more going on, sadly. And why? And why are we doing this now? The global context, Renza, permacrisis, globalization, climate change, something that is affecting one country in this world today is affecting every one of us. And we have identified significant barriers in securing essential medical supplies and medication. We thought of insulin. It is an ethical imperative to speak and to bring the conversation to the to society in general, an ethical imperative, because we call ourselves advocates, diabetes advocates. What kind of diabetes advocates are we if we don't stand up and speak out when we see that there are being violations of human rights? We want to work from a human rights perspective. And we are guided by the principles of unity, diversity, and global consensus. We have been working together and thriving together, as we said earlier, and well, this is close to everybody's heart at this point. Diabetes is a priority requiring attention and action in these contexts of war or armed conflicts. Why? Because diabetes is a humanitarian crisis inside a humanitarian crisis. It is an invisible illness. This is taken for Doctors Without Borders article. It's an invisible illness, so there will be less diagnosis in these contexts. Travel can be dangerous due to the conflicts. Insulin isn't always available. The big pharma prices don't help at all. They are an issue both for patients and organizations. There's obviously food insecurity, and we all know that food is part of diabetes treatment. Needles, syringes, and waste. They are hard to find, and difficult to dispose of, and the hygiene conditions might not be the best. Daily temperatures, well, this is connected to the climate change. However, we know that we can keep the insulin outside the fridge and have it working for a period of time. And there are other techniques such as putting it inside a clay pot that might work too. And the cycle of complications, what does this mean? People have to ration their insulin. They develop complications that cannot be attended. The situation gets worse, and it's a vicious cycle. Well, this part of the presentation wants to reflect that there are two causes that are connected to this one. One is that as civil society, as diabetes activists, and as people living with diabetes, we have to generate conversation on these issues, and people experiencing firsthand these armed conflicts must be part of the policies that have to be created. And we, people living with diabetes, people who have the lived experience expertise, must engage in all the initiatives regarding us. Once again, nothing about us without us. And to achieve everything, universal health care is a must. There are many, many reasons to sign that have been given by the community. I invite the people who are watching us to jump in and reflect their thoughts. But for example, Marianne said that restricting access to insulin and other life-saving medications to people in need is a war crime, and unrestricted access aid must be promptly ensured. Medicines should not be used as a weapon of mass distribution, and depriving insulin-dependent children and adults of insulin is a death sentence. Yes, absolutely, Natalie. Okay, well, Sebastian's words are really good. Beyond the practical considerations, there's a moral imperative to protect and prioritize the health of vulnerable populations, particularly individuals living with diabetes, especially during conflicts when they are most at risk. Okay, and here's a very, very, very good point by Belinda. She says that people who use insulin don't choose to use it, they need to use it. So in 2024, we shouldn't be needing petitions to fight for basic human rights. Yes, everybody should agree on this because it's so essential and so basic that it's still, shocking that we are having these discussions on things that are so essential. However, there's a lot of ignorance regarding diabetes, and it's important that we give visibility to the fact that insulin is not optional. It's not like an aspirin maybe that you can go without and then get better. In the case of insulin, it's very, very fast, the process of deteriorating and even dying. Well, finally, this is an invitation to join us. You can scan this QR code and sign our petition. We will be happy to count on you and use this initiative as a way to catalyze new projects and initiatives. And it's also an invitation to work together in the global diabetes community, to stop working in silos and start creating dynamic synergies. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Lucia, thank you so, so much. And really, I've only seen a tiny, tiny little bit of the work that's gone on. Really, once again, people with diabetes just leading the charge. I remember hearing somebody say, why wouldn't you back the diabetes community? The type 1 diabetes community in this instance has really pulled this all together just absolutely so dynamically. And thank you for leading that. And thank you to the people who have been working with you. It's remarkable. I think, this started, with dedoc Voices, and it's gone global. And I can't even think about the number of different campaigns that continue to do that. So thank you very, very much. Now, that's not it, though. There's something else that you want to show us, isn't there?
Absolutely.
All right, let's see. I think we might be ready to go with that if we just wait a minute. And Morgan, who's a whiz behind the scenes, has got something for us.
As diabetes advocates and members of the diabetes community worldwide, we want to share a shared concern.
In times of conflict, insulin is being restricted in aid, putting lives at risk.
Insulin serves as a vital lifeline for individuals living with type 1 diabetes.
And it's equally essential for many others managing different forms of diabetes that are insulin dependent.
The recent difficulties and restrictions on getting insulin as aid in conflict zones is very alarming. Without insulin, the health of people with diabetes can deteriorate very quickly, and the results can be deadly.
Insulin represents survival, and access to it safeguards the human rights to health and life.
Our unified stand. The statement of consensus stands as testament to our collective commitment to safeguarding the right to life.
Ensuring uninterrupted access to care and providing essential protection for individuals living with diabetes, particularly in conflict zones.
We urgently call upon all involved parties to recognise the humanitarian impact of obstructing insulin access.
Prioritizing the health and survival of those reliant on this life-saving medication.
It is imperative to understand that the absence of insulin equates to death for those in need.
Therefore, any barrier hindering insulin access for a region or population must be addressed promptly.
This is a call for collaboration. We extend an invitation for collaborative efforts to enhance and fortify this statement.
Together, our goal is to amplify our unified voice, ensuring that our advocacy for unrestricted access to insulin resonates on a global stage.
Furthermore, this request regarding insulin also needs to be applied to all other life-saving medications for people living with non-communicable diseases.
Please sign and share the insulin consensus petition so you can collaborate with us to help provide equitable access to insulin.
Lithia, wow, thank you so much. This will be available for people to share, won't it?
Yes, and there are many more efforts going on behind the scenes. We plan to print t-shirts with the QR code and take them to the congresses this year, ATTD, EASD, ISPAT, and we will be advocating together towards better outcomes and fostering, global understanding and union within our diabetes community. We share the same diabetes. Let's see what we have in common and advocate together from a human rights perspective.
Yeah, so thank you so much to you and to all of the dedoc Voices who are collaborating to develop the consensus statement to begin with, and also the video. Thank you so, so much. I would ask people to please do what we do well in this community, and that is to lift each other up, to share this as broadly and as widely as you possibly can. Where you can, ask people to sign as well. Also think about incorporating this all in part of February's Spare a Rose campaign as well. And do understand that when we know that Insulin for Life, who is a charity partner for Life for a Child, for Spare a Rose, is able to actually to start to deliver aid into people who need it, we will be looking at how the community can support that with donations as well. But really, what an absolutely remarkable initiative here. Thank you so much. I hope that you're going to have a little bit of a nap now, because I think you've been working 24 hours, 7 days a week. Well done to you and to everybody. I have probably read, I think, maybe a quarter of the messages that are flying back and forwards. But to everybody who's been involved, thank you so much. Anybody want to think that our dedoc voices can't move the world? Oh gosh, really? Don't try us. Thank you so much, Lucia. Really appreciate it. See you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, really, this, I've been part of the diabetes community for a very long time, and every time I think, wow, gosh, I've seen it all, I really haven't, because people always step up. We always step up to support each other. And this is just another example of that, and what an incredible example.